Hey, happy Oons Day, everyone. It's National Take Your Audience to Work Day. So I'm going to take you on to my job site today. I'm a professional painter, and what you're looking at here is a one-bedroom apartment where someone had smoked for 20 years, heavy nicotine. I've seen many of these in my 30 years as a professional painter. So I'm going to take you through the job site and show you what it takes to take a turd like this and polish it into a diamond. And I'm gonna probably get it done in 2 days. That's my plan, and my body's gonna hurt. So one of the first things I'm gonna have to do is wash these walls down with a product called TSP, trisodium phosphate. So I'm gonna show you the products I use and what I do to get a job like this done. Done it many times. Let's get to it. So when I come in on an apartment like this, I really have to go through and look at all the things I got to deal with before I break out any materials, things I'm going to have to patch. You got to work in steps when you're painting. So step number one is get like all the nails and screws out of the wall, get the blinds down, get the molding off if that's being replaced by the carpet people. Get a good assessment for what you're in for, because you got to start getting things patched before you put on a coat of primer. So my first job is really to focus on the patchwork, and then I'm going to focus on the washing of the walls, and then I'm going to focus on priming. So really take a good look at this, at the color difference from where a picture hung to where the nicotine hit the wall. I've seen curtains left behind in apartments like this that are literally crispy to the touch from all that tar and smoke year after year after year. You could only imagine what the lungs of this individual looks like. And I have a father who died from lung cancer from being a chain smoker. So for me, this is kind of personal. Look how dark this is. Disgusting. Here guys, look at the nicotine on this blind right here with the dust. This is a joint compound. You're going to want to mix it to the consistency of like a pancake batter. And this right here is the type that sets up in 5 minutes, so you got to work fast. All right, make sure you have a mask on, and you gotta start dusting down this place. Get all the dust off your repairs that you just did. Get all the cobwebs off. Prep is the most important part to a good paint job. So some of you are probably in awe of how disgusting this is. But as someone who's been a painter for 30 years, with all socioeconomic backgrounds of clients, I've really seen it all. I've been in more homes than probably you've ever been. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot of this out there. A lot. I see so many disgusting things every week. It To be honest, I've kind of lost faith in humanity. Okay, we're at the point where we're going to start washing the nicotine off the walls. Now the living room, hallway, and bedroom are covered in a flat paint. You don't want to wash the flat paint. That you just prime right over. Actually, TSP on flat paint with nicotine can actually make a worse stain. But for gloss walls like the kitchen and the bathroom, we're going to use this product here. And just put an ample amount in there like that. Start adding water. Okay, I'll let you look at this water, crystal clear. Just the TSP in there before we get started. That water is going to turn dark like coffee. Oh, behind the fridge is always fun. That's where no one washes for years. See how heavy it is on there. Just got to keep working it with that TSP. It will break it down. The most important step of the TSP is the rinse. You cannot just leave it on and you can't let it dry into place. Keep it wet and then give it a good rinse with lots and lots of clear water. Leave the outlet covers on while you're washing. It reduces the chance of getting electrocuted. That's a good thing. Oh, yippee. Don't worry about it looking good the first time. When you do the rinse, that's when you get all that heavy residue off. It's just applying the TSP, letting it work. That sodium in there really eats everything apart and breaks it up. Then when you come back with the rinse, that's when you get it. And you can use the dirty water for a long time. It's the application of the chemical that counts. Okay, let's show you what this water looks like. To really see, we got to pour it in here. Yep. Years and years of smoking. Please, if you're a smoker out there, think of a painter like me that has to deal with it. And I guarantee you, if you're a tenant, you will not get your security deposit back. People think, when they think of a damaged apartment, they think of someone punching holes through the wall and maybe some graffiti. That's a chore, but this is more damaging than that because you are coating absolutely everything with a coat of orange nicotine, and everything has to be washed or replaced. It holds on to that smell. Now I'm going to use a primer that not only covers the stain, but it seals in those odors too. And then on top of it, I'm going to add an additive to the paint to give it a nice, pretty smell. Okay, we rinsed the walls in the kitchen. This is the first batch of rinse water. So you're going to want to rinse and rinse until you get no more color. Yeah. Okay, now I have the bathroom washed with the TSP. Let's see what this water looks like. This is always the fun part. Orange. So now I get to look forward to more rinses. Yippee! I guess it would be at this moment I would say to those of you who are not familiar with my channel is actually about playing with wild raccoons, no kidding. Oh cutie, do you remember this from the patio? Oh my goodness. And I've never done a video like this where I've shown what I do for a living. I've mentioned it in my videos that I'm a professional painter of 30 years. But yeah, this is what I do. Like I said, I've seen multiples of these in my career, but this isn't all the time. These are rough ones. These are some of my least favorite ones, and boy, it does a number on my body. For those of you who are in the trades like me, whether you're a plumber, electrician, or a roofer, or a carpenter, a painter, you know how physical our jobs are. And a lot of times we think people in the corporate world really don't have a clue what we do. I bust my ass every day, all week long. I give myself just a 15-minute break every day to eat lunch. That's it, nothing more, because I don't want my muscles to tighten up. I got to keep going. And I do get severe pain from doing jobs like this. I get bad headaches from the smell of the smoke. I'm going to be cracking these windows open soon. I just didn't want the traffic noise to disrupt from me talking with you guys. But yeah, it's a tough job, and if you have a family member that's in the trades like me, thank them for what they do. It's really tough work. All of us have tough jobs. I'm not saying any of our jobs is more superior than the other. It's just realize there's some of us out there that really have to hustle for a living. And I just want to give a shout out to the other people in the trades. Thanks for the good work you do. All right, the fun moment has arrived. We get to start priming. So just a product I'd like to use that's water-based, which is so nice. Back in the day, I had to use an oil-based primer to cover nicotine. Now they have technology that works just as good. So this product, Zinsser 123 Plus. The plus is the important part right there. It's just that tiny little difference on the label that could really confuse you. This one works just like an oil-based paint, but it cleans up with water. Does a great job at hiding nicotine. You know, I just want to give you guys a quick little sample before I get going here on cutting in with my brush, just on the color difference. Let's find a nice dark spot here. Oh, here we go. So that's what the wall color is going to be. I always get my primer tinted to the same color of the top coat. And the top coat is an off-white with a slight pinkish hue to it. So look at that difference. Look at what that nicotine has done over 20 years. All right, we got the living room all primed. Still got to do the kitchen, the hall, the bath, the bedroom. But I earned a lunch break. I'm going to go do my 15-minute break and then power through the rest of the day. Maybe I could get some sponsors to make this all worthwhile. This is kind of part of my regiment when I'm in pain and my shoulder's starting to scream at me. Just that little 15-minute break of taking lunch on my throne. That's right. I put tarps down on the toilet because there's no other place to sit in these nasty, disgusting apartments. You know, it's funny when these announcers on TV are telling you to feel sorry for these Major League Baseball pitchers that, you know, are out there for 2 hours throwing a ball and then they get 5 days off. They have some personal trainer that's babying them with ice and heat. And I think, oh my goodness. And besides them making $1 million plus a year, all I got is Advil and Salon Pods, and I got to go back at it the next day. And no one celebrates us when we do our hard job. So don't tell me about the baseball pitcher. I don't want to hear it. So guys, I was hoping to get some feedback from you What are your thoughts on tenants not allowing you to smoke in your own apartment? Should they have the right to control what you do or don't do in your living complex? But they do own it. It is their property. You're just renting it. And what about a government subsidized building, like a HUD building? Should tenants be allowed to do something like smoke an apartment that causes tremendous damage like this? I guess in the feedback, I'd also like your personal experiences. Have you ever encountered a house like this, a family member's place like this? Have you ever had to clean it up? Have you ever had to paint it? I would like to know that. And what was that experience like for you? I imagine for someone that doesn't do this every day, this must look really daunting, like it's almost an impossible thing to deal with. But actually it's very possible. You just got to break it into pieces. You got to have the right materials and a whole lot of elbow grease. And I think you can find elbow grease in like aisle 6 at Home Depot. All right, guys, day number 1 is done with. We have this entire place primed. All the closets, all the halls, the bathroom, the bedroom, living room, kitchen. So the prep is all done. Tomorrow I'm going to return and I'm going to put on the top coat of paint, and this will be a brand new place. We're going to have this turd polished into a diamond. Oh man, I spoke too soon. I forgot about this little closet. Gotta prime it. Now what I like about this time of day is I get real excited about going home and seeing my wife. She's such a comfort. And we get to talk about our day with each other. And I just love hearing about her day, how Cindy said this, Jenny said that, and Rachel did this. And then they had cake for someone's birthday. And then they had a little turkey toss for Thanksgiving. And they got to carve pumpkins and decorate them. All this stuff for employee retention. And I want to scream and go, oh my God, if you only knew what work means. And when I do, she says, you don't understand. My job's difficult too. It's just a different type of work. It's mental work, and it's true, and I know that, but it's hard to relate. And I'm thinking some of you out there that have a physical job like I have, and your significant other has a different style job, like a white-collar office job. What is that like for you? Leave some comments. I'd like to hear you go on about it. Hey, good morning, guys. It's day number 2, and we are going to knock this place out today. All the prep is done. Everything's primed. I went around this morning with my oil primer to get stains that pop through this primer. Sometimes stains are just so severe it needs the actual oil-based primer. Well, I'm going to mix in some scent. The smell here is called Cool Linen. You got all different types these days. Vanilla, lavender, coconut, Hawaiian breeze. You put in 1 pack per gallon, and then that'll linger in the paint film for a good 3 to 4 months. So the idea is when they're bringing in potential new renters, that this place doesn't smell like an ashtray, but smells like a pretty apartment. There we go. You know, this is one thing I wish I could do, is have you smell all the smells I get in an apartment like this. This apartment, especially yesterday, just reeked of nicotine so heavy. My clothes are just saturated in it. That's always the case. And I throw my tarps in my van will reek like nicotine for weeks. It's just fraught with that odor. I don't know if you've ever been in an apartment complex and you're walking down the hallways past apartments and you go past that door and you get that heavy tobacco smell. Well, that's what this is, and it's thick because everything's saturated with it. Now I wish you could smell this cool linen scent, which is just super fragrant, and it's actually pretty powerful. So, I was just thinking of something. There's probably some of you right now going, you know what? This guy's taking too many steps to do this job. I see these commercials for this paint and primer in one. He could just do this all in one step. And I hate to tell it to you guys, this paint and primer in one is a bit of a gimmick. Even with primers, there's different quality primers. You have to find a primer that specifies it covers nicotine, it covers water stains, and it seals it in, and it will not bleed through. An inferior primer, it'll pop right through. You might be thinking to yourself, well, I'll just apply 2 coats of paint. You could put on 50 coats of paint. That nicotine is going to bleed through because it's not sealed in. You're going to think you're taking a shortcut, and in fact, you're going to be spending more money and more time. Don't do it. Do the right thing. Okay, so round number 2 of these. Again, if you guys want to sponsor me, you know how to get hold of me. So yeah, we got the living room, we got the bedroom, we got the hallway, all the flat paint applied. It's looking real good. If you remember those squares from where the pictures hung, as you can see, that's all hidden because that's been sealed with a good primer sealer so that nicotine is no longer bleeding through. The ceiling's looking good. Everything's nice and white back to its original condition. Just got to paint this and that, and I will be done for the day. Remember this nasty, nasty stove area back here. Look at this. Look how gross that is. That's basically what that wall was like back there. You could see how that primer sealed that up real nice, so the top coat is going to do just fine. You know, I have a question for other contractors out there, and this has just reminded me of it, how nasty this looks. It seems to me that since the pandemic, people's cleanliness has just taken a dive. I see this 5 days a week, all year round for 30 years, and I'm a really good data point for what's going on with human behavior. And something happened during the pandemic where people no longer seem to care. And this is pretty troubling. I'm curious if other contractors have noticed something similar. I've tried to balance that with demographic shifts in the tenant bases at these complexes I paint at too. So it could be, I'm pretty sure it is a combination of the two, but it certainly seems to me that since the pandemic, wow, people's cleanliness and just caring about their surroundings has really plummeted. What's really disgusting in my world is when people have insect infestations. Bed bugs have become a real issue. It never was early in my career. I thought it was just a childhood rhyme Don't let the bed bugs bite. It's a real thing. And in like a bedroom, you'll see where the bed was because there will be a bloody outline all the way around it, and around all the outlets will just be speckles. What those speckles are is blood. It's human blood. They feast on people and then they regurgitate it on the walls. And it is quite the chore to wash that all down. And then it has to be sealed into place. It has to be primed before it can be painted. Very disgusting. Fruit flies. People have been letting fruit flies just get out of control. And it will leave speckles all over the ceiling, especially around the ceiling fixtures, up the corners. If that's something you guys would be interested in seeing in future videos, I come across this stuff all the time and I have to deal with it. Very difficult work, but that's just part of my profession. Curious if other contractors are running into this too. Hey, okay everyone, happy Wednesday. We got this place tackled in 2 days. Went through about 4 gallons of primer and close to 5 gallons of top coat paint. Got the kitchen and bath covered in a satin. Got flat paint in the living room, bedroom, hallway, and closets. And it's quite an improvement from what it was yesterday. A lot of times you walk in on a place and it's so daunting and you go, oh man, where do you even begin? But after 30 years, you're like a machine. You just start moving and you start tackling things and you get it done. You can do it too. Hey, if you need any advice on how to deal with a job like this, ask me some questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Happy Wednesday, everyone.